Pooh Shiesty has had one of the fastest rises to fame. Sadly, he's lost it all as fast as he gained it, and he's now looking at life in prison for being caught using a firearm towards 3 individuals. Here's exclusive information for his court case in the files. Let's get straight into it. Now on October 6th, Pooh Shiesty gave a message out to his fans and haters by saying, and I quote, "F these boys out here hating, waiting for a man to fall. I don't fall, I'm a giant." After releasing this message, Pooh Shiesty's lawyers officially withdrew their request to delay the trial. This does mean that the court case is going to be starting within a few weeks. Now, Pooh Shiesty will be facing federal armed robbery charges in this case. There's a maximum of life in prison if convicted, but one of the most concerning things of it all is this isn't Pooh Shiesty's only court case involving him using a firearm towards an individual. Now, Shiesty in this court case may have actually gotten away with it if he didn't post a photo of him flexing the vehicle he did the robbery in on Instagram an hour before the incident happened. Before I share the official evidence that I found in the court files, you need to hear what happened on the day this all went down. When Pooh Shiesty was starting to get major attention in the music world, he set up a meet with 2 individuals inside of a parking lot. This meet was so then Shiesty could get a new pair of shoes as well as narcotics before performing at a club later that night. Shiesty arrives to the parking lot driving a bright green McLaren sports car. When Shiesty and his boy arrived, they hopped out of their vehicles and met the 2 men. As I mentioned, they were originally supposed to buy high-end sneakers as well as narcotics. Now at the time, Shiesty was wearing a mask over his face. This made it very hard for law enforcement to figure out who this even was. But everything was going normal. A conversation started, and I believe that Shiesty understood that these 2 men, they're not really about it, and that Shiesty could easily get these items for free. So as soon as the transaction was about to go down, Shiesty pretty much said, "Nah, I'm good, this is a robbery." He pulls out a firearm out of his waistband, and he starts pointing it towards the 2 men. The 2 men start trying to make a run for it, but then Shiesty uses the firearm, hitting one in the hip and the other one in the backside. Shiesty then quickly grabbed the goods, threw it into his green McLaren, and while trying to close the butterfly door, an important piece of evidence falls out of his vehicle. This piece of evidence will be a Louis Vuitton bag. This Louis Vuitton bag, containing $40,912 in cash, easily more than enough money to pay for these goods, ended up being left in the parking lot where the police ended up scooping the bag and taking it in as evidence. Now at Shiesty's first hearing, he claimed not guilty in this case, even though the evidence that's stacking against him is very major, as there is literally footage of him using the firearm towards these men. Now Pooh Shiesty has a very high chance at serving life in prison. This means that Shiesty will most likely be gone forever. Now the evidence files in this court case were also released that you need to see. I don't think Pooh Shiesty was thinking at the time, but he literally robbed these 2 individuals, used firearms towards them right beside a police station. This means that the area was filled with surveillance cameras everywhere, and the entire time he robbed these men, it was all caught on film. Also in this court case, this Instagram photo of Pooh Shiesty will be getting used against him. In this photo, you see Pooh Shiesty standing on a bright green McLaren sports car, as this photo was posted the same day the robbery went down, and he even committed the robbery driving this vehicle. The next piece of evidence is the Louis Vuitton bag that was holding $40,912 all in cash. This is being used against Pooh Shiesty, as after the robbery went down, this Louis Vuitton bag ended up falling out of the bright green McLaren sports car due to the car having butterfly doors. Shiesty uploaded several photos to his Instagram page of him doing the money stretch across his arm. The feds actually downloaded and zoomed in on these photos. They were able to find out a serial number on one of the bills on the Instagram photo, and they matched it with one of the bills that was inside of the Louis Vuitton bag. This just proves that it was Pooh Shiesty who was holding the cash, it was Pooh Shiesty in the green McLaren, and it was Shiesty who robbed these men and used a firearm towards them. So Florida has a very easy rule to understand. This is called the 10-20 life rule. This means that you'll be put into prison for 10 years if you pull out a firearm without a license. You'll be put in prison for 20 years if you pull out a firearm and you use it towards someone without defending yourself, but no one in the end was still affected. Then you'll be sentenced to 25 years to life in prison if you pull a firearm out and you use it towards someone and that person is then affected by it. Now, Shiesty was caught on surveillance footage using a firearm towards 2 individuals. This was obviously for the pair of sneakers and narcotics. Mind you, he had $40,000 in cash in his McLaren. We then ended up seeing Pooh Shiesty get arrested and brought into county jail. Shiesty's lawyers acted quickly, trying to set up a bail hearing to try to get him out. But when showing up to the bail hearing, we ended up seeing Shiesty wearing what's called a turtle suit. Now, you do not want to see anyone wearing this. Typically, when you're in jail, if you're having a hard time, saying things about your own life, caught crying in your cell, things in that nature, the law enforcement will actually take all of your clothes and belongings in your cell and they will end up giving you this suit to wear instead. Now, you cannot do any harm with this suit on, as you probably could with clothing. It's a very sensitive subject, but they do it to ensure safety on all of the inmates. Now, Pooh Shiesty has been very silent for the last month, and this is just due to how severe his court case is. The odds of him being sentenced to life in prison is very high. Recently though, Shiesty told the judge in his court case that he will change his plea from non-guilty to guilty for the incident for using the firearm towards 2 individuals in exchange for a lesser sentence. Many say that this is a cry for help by Pooh Shiesty, as Shiesty will be facing federal armed robbery charges in this court case with a maximum of life in prison if convicted. Now, obviously this is a very serious court case for Shiesty, and his music career was really just starting to take off. But it just goes to show you can give rappers multi-million-dollar deals, but for some reason they still feel the need to break the law. Anyways guys, if you want to stay up to date with the case, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.